I'm in an Old Navy pajama. I'm sweating my full ass off, and it's July. It's time to pod. Don't you think? Hello and welcome to Indulge Me. I'm your host, Stacey McGunnigle. How are you, friends? It's always fun right before I record. My dogs are in my office currently. My bun has decided to go on a journey. But the second I start the pod, the dogs fear. They rise up from slumber and presume the worst is near. And are they wrong? This is a joyous day of days where we are reunited. How are you? I hope this podcast finds you well. I hope that this podcast finds you in a moment of solace, alone, AirPods, headphones. The headphones are locked in. Or maybe you're just free in your car listening to this a blast, and it's just you and I. Everything else, let's let it drift away for the next hour. Let's mindlessly float and just get into things that could be described as a champagne problem, but don't we love a little glass of champagne? Don't we love a little bubble? There's so much to discuss. There's so many feelings to be felt. I have been all over. I have been traveling. Am I known to be a traveler? No. This is new for me. Getting sort of like accustomed to TSA, being slick and quick in my liquids and electronics. This is not a life I know. And yet here I am. I have been all over and I am back in Toronto sweating my full ass off. And if you're watching this, you will see that I am in an Old Navy pajama. As I said, I did an order recently, and these are the only two items to survive, the two pajamas. And did I sleep in this shirt? Yes. Is it wrinkly? Yes, but this is real. Okay, I'm not some influencer who's slapping on an Old Navy to feel like one of the cool kids. No. I'm living, I'm breathing. I'm simmering in my Old Navy. So here I am in pajama. It feels like I've just breastfed. If you're watching it, it feels like I'm fresh off a breastfeed, but that's good, because that means the job is done. So we are done with that and back on to the pod. I will say, however, if you are looking for like a no bullshit pajama, it's always Old Navy, because we're not going to get upset when, we ruin our $12 pajama. When you wake up and all of a sudden you've forgotten that you get your period still and it's destroyed beyond compare. The Old Navy pajama is there. There is no judgment. Okay. It can take a good stain. It can also handle a good stain removal. You can get in there. Okay. Rub-a-dub-dub. It can take it. The fabric will be fine. And that is what we go to for an Old Navy pajama. When I am sick, when I just need to like nuzzle into a couch, snot a-blazing, ramen ordered, the pho being sent to your door, the broth. It is the Old Navy pajama that can take it. It can take the sweat. It can take the stains. And yet they will not sponsor me. And all of these thoughts are my own. I will say, if you are watching this as well, I am trying to do the thing that the Gen Zs have told us, and that is to layer layer necklaces. I am trying the layered look, and I'm telling you, if my necklace intertwines with the other one more time, I will be walking into the ocean and never returning. The way I go from 0 to 100 when my necklaces intertwine, there is no bigger rage. There is no bigger rage I feel. I get so enraged when my necklaces are intertwined that I have to catch my breath. I have to take a breath. I have to go, oh, okay, calm down. I have to audibly tell myself to calm down, like a toddler having a tantrum at a grocery store. I have to say, calm down. Soon this will be over. Soon these feelings will be done. Soon the necklaces will part and the madness will end. I have to remind myself of that because the way in which I spiral and spin, thinking that my life will forever be untwining, untangling these Amazon necklaces. There is but no God, I fear, in those moments, and outside those moments too, frankly. But in those moments, who can I reach for? I've even asked my grandmother up in the skies, hey, Shirley, can you take a little break from whatever you're doing up there and untangle these guys? Can you give me a little favor from the skies? Because I need to be freed. Yes, I have seen the TikTok hacks. They don't make sense to me. The math doesn't math, and the hellscape continues. I don't know how people are wearing multiple necklaces. But this needs to end immediately. Thank you. I was just in Vancouver. Beautiful. The thing about Vancouver for me is we've never really found our pace. Every time I'm in Vancouver, I'm like, yes, the trees. Yes, the beauty. Yes, the athleisure from every person on the planet. The Lulu is lemoning. I'm seeing it. But we just couldn't get our connection. So I've always enjoyed Vancouver, but this time I had a real blasty blast. I finally discovered some gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful sushi. If you are a listener from Vancouver, don't hold back. Send me your recommendations. What is the best sushi? Because here in Toronto, we're not known for our sushi. You can find it. Some of my favorite places are gone. So when I work in Halifax, you better believe I'm dubbing all of the sushi. That's not a real word, and we all need to move on, Diane. But when I'm in Halifax, I go nuts. I go nuts on sushi. So when I get to Vancouver, because we're sort of, we haven't hit a groove. The one thing that Vancouver can do to make it right is to provide me with good sushi. So thank you to my wonderful and beautiful and lovely friend Jane for suggesting an amazing spot for which I will tell you it was so good. It was called Tom's Sushi. I had to take a break because my dog, for all those dog lovers out there, my dog has decided this summer that its favorite treat is its paws. Vic just loves his paw, almost to the point of concern. And yes, we've gone to the vet about it. Yes, he's been given some soaking solution that he can use. And yes, he does lick it after. And yes, he does get diarrhea. So we are just on an honor system, him and I. It's sort of a 3 strikes you're out. And then he has to wear these very sad socks that I get a lot of pleasure out of. But back to the trip. We go to Tom's Sushi. It is good. Okay. And I'm an eater. Okay, we're not just getting 1 or 2. We're getting multiples. We're splitting. We're getting some appetizers. Okay, we're not just getting a roll to ourselves. What are we doing here? I respect if I went to lunch with you and you said, I'm just going to get a couple rolls to myself. What? I'm going to be upset about a boundary? No, but it's not my ideal boundary because I'm a sharer. When we go to a meal, I want us to luxuriate. I want us to be in no rush. I want us to sample, to taste. We are Marie Antoinette. We will be eating cake. And so when people go, oh, a couple rolls just for me. Okay. So then now I must come back and eat in the way that I will. But we were in a sharing mind. Okay. So we as a team ordered and assembled a delicious lunch. And it was truly unreal. The sushi was gorgeous. Wild salmon. Wild salmon. Take that in. If you are from Ontario, you know how but rare a wild salmon is for us, okay? How is it July? You know, I'm wondering if this is a common feeling, but sometimes I forget that time just continues to pass. It's just always passing, isn't it? And for some reason, I'm a bit delulu about that clock. But here we are in July. I simply can't believe, man, time flies. What are our summer plans? What are we doing? I need to know what we're doing because I love my apartment. I rarely get to spend a lot of time here because I spend a lot of my time in Halifax working. So I love spending time here, but I'm at this point where if I don't get on a dock soon, I don't know what's going to happen to me. I need to be on a dock for 2 weeks. Like I want a paddleboard. I want to imagine that my life is on the lake. I want to have a glass of white wine on the dock and peer into the skies with a sweater, on a Muskoka / Adirondack chair. I don't know what we're calling it. The dogs running around. Like that's what I need. I need some summertime times. So if you are cottage dwelling or, any Ontario recommendations, I need them. Send them, please. I sometimes, when I'm overwhelmed with life, and I've talked about this before, but I will scroll on Zillow for the cottage and mansion that I'm going to escape to, that I will never return from. And it's happening. And I don't know if it's the pajamas that's forcing me into that zone, but we're here. So I am dreaming of a cottage. Hopefully that happens a couple times before the summer comes to an end. Can you believe I'm saying before the summer comes to an end? Like, what are we talking about? We just started the summer, but it feels like an end to me. And I need to get this pessimistic behavior out of my head. I realize, okay, thank you, Carol. Okay. But I'm already thinking about August 30th. And it's merely the beginning of July. I wish I could be one of those present people, but I don't know. Like I said earlier in the pod, I was traveling and I have been on a plane and not even bragging, economy WestJet, which I'm going to put on my Instagram, some of the posts from my flight with WestJet. And I've got a beef. I mean, they went on strike, causing a lot of disruption. I was okay. However, the thing I was not okay with was it's a bus in the sky, people. And listen, this podcast is not going to be about me going, can you believe airplanes? It's hell on earth. No one's having a good time. Gone are the days where you're dressing up and smoking a thin cigarette betwixt the clouds. That's gone. Okay. I'm in an old dog hair covered pair of Lululemons crouched at the window seat watching Love Island UK. Just trying to, on my iPad, trying to watch it, I was watching it on my way back from Vancouver, and a woman beside me was raw dogging the flight, as TikTok has appointed, not looking at anything. She had her iPhone that she would randomly look at, but she was just staring, middle seat, nothing to entertain, not a Sudoku, not a book, a crochet, a hobby, nothing. A magazine, the last remaining Reader's Digest, she had nothing. And she dressed quite fabulous, as a beautiful, like your most comforted aunt, she was wearing layers. I appreciated that. And there I was looking like an absolute pile of trash, sweating my ass off from the get-go. And as I said, I was watching Love Island UK, which I'll give you my thoughts after this tale. And it's a sexy show, people are kissing, there's tongues involved, it's a bit nitty gritty, we're having a good time. But it was quite salacious. And I don't know if she saw, I assume that she did, because all of a sudden I did look over to her and she was reading biblical passages on her phone and reading an article saying, how would Jesus handle this, or what would Jesus do? And a lot of, questions of how Jesus would handle things. And, I don't know the man personally, but I think he'd love it. I think he valued community and he valued passion. And all of those people currently snogging it up in Spain are doing all of that. But I can't confirm nor deny that she certainly did pray for me and my saviorness. I don't know. I'm new to the whole thing. But I certainly was like, oh God, this woman is praying for me, or at least praying that the flight would end. She was friendly at the beginning, and, she set a boundary. But she did pray for me, and that's fine. That's fine. Speaking of, actually, before I get into Love Island, I do want to do a proper shout out, because here's the thing. And again, we're going to do airplane content and we'll move on. Everyone has gone nuts, including myself, on Carry On. We do not want to check our bags. Who would? What a nightmare. What a nightmare. This isn't a time nor place to be checking a bag anymore. Checking a bag seems almost obscene. Sometimes you have to, obviously, but we all know that we're taking a gigantic risk. Also, who wants to wait an additional hour or whatever at baggage, right? We all want to just walk away. So we're all jamming our life into the smallest bags possible and making big, bold choices. So I was gone for a week. The last podcast I was talking about being in Edmonton. And I went to Vancouver and Victoria with my classic Amazon duffel bag and jammed my whole life in there. Was I happy with the choices I had made? Absolutely not. I don't know who I thought I was going to be on this trip, but it certainly wasn't a woman of fashion. It certainly wasn't a woman who could go day to night. And it certainly wasn't a woman who ever wanted to look fashionable. Oh no. I also made a crucial freaking error where I brought my skinny jeans. Now, I don't mean the style. I mean, when I'm feeling good, it's that first week after your period, you're feeling yourself, you're feeling good. I brought those feeling good, look at me jeans. I didn't bring, hey, you're going to be in the clouds and that's going to cause you to not take a dump for 4 days jeans. You need your all-time reliables when you're doing that kind of thing, especially with Carry On. I took such a gamble with my good time jeans. Mistake. I had to leave a Mexican restaurant to run to a Shoppers Drug Mart and get a Gas X and a Beano, because I somehow also forgot my pill case where I keep my digestive enzymes, my Tums, my laxatives, my Advil, all my things. So there I was running down the street in Vancouver to buy extra strength Gas X and Beano. And I popped 2 Beano and a Gas X on the way back. Luckily, my margarita had arrived to the table. I didn't down it with the margarita. I certainly wouldn't disrespect the margarita in that way. But can you imagine? There I am in my fucking skinny, my feeling good jeans, and I'm bloated to the max in an oversized t-shirt, 2 buttons undone at the table. My boyfriend going, sorry you feel that way. Which sounds sweet because it is, but men will never understand. Unless you're a man listening to this and you chronically get bloated, please let me know. Because when you're traveling, and you're on vacation, you're going to go nuts. Okay. I told you I went to Tom's Sushi twice. The second time, what we ordered was obscene. We tried everything we hadn't tried the day before because we weren't going to be there again. And I was bloated, I believe, for 4 days after that. And I had no other option of pant except for, and you won't believe this, I packed beige linen pants. Not oversized enough. Like it needed to be a bit more oversized to be stylish. I don't know what these pants were. And I don't know who it was who packed them, but she's nuts and she needs to go to jail. Because the outfits packed were bananas. I was bloated for like at least 5 days. Shout out to Gas X and Beano for really getting me together. The last couple of days, I was just in a yoga short. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me on that? So word to the wise, if you are packing, pack your all-time reliable. Don't pack for who you want to be. Pack for who you are. I know I'm going to make that mistake again and again and again, but I hope I can take my own advice. We can't live like that. Oh my God. Imagine 38 years old, 2 buttons undone, top and second. Oh, having to go to the bathroom to make sure you couldn't tell. I couldn't have been more bloated, running home to lay on my stomach. If you know, you know. And if you know, I love you and I see you. But due to my underpacking, I was really taking stock of really efficient packers. And I want to just give a shout out to a queen that I saw. She was thriving. She shows up to security with not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 headbands atop her head, varying styles. We had fabric, we had metal, we had pearl, we had elaborate, and we had very simple, varying styles, thicknesses, shapes, material. 5 on her head, plus a massive hair clip. Around that hair clip, a gorgeously oversized scrunchie with the price tag still on. That woman said, I can't afford to put these items in my bag. She was so prepared. She was wearing her thickest items, her hair items. You weren't going to get her. There was no way. There was no way you were going to get her. And she walked through that security with those headbands atop her head. Through security, she went. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I don't know where you are. I hope you got there safely. And I hope you're just having the best time with all those goddamn headbands. That is a style icon right there. Not me. Not me in my, if I have 1 carb too many, these jeans are going to explode jeans. I got to grow up. I got to stop, because we grew up in a time where like jeans were tight and now everyone's wearing sort of oversized jeans. It sounds delicious. When a jean is a little oversized, oh, don't mind me, too tiny. Uh-oh, so small. Be careful of me. I need to get into that. I need to move into that. That is, if you're listening to this in a too tight jean, we got to band together. We got to grow up and we got to get better jeans. Better jeans. We need better jeans. Because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of always going, how will the day go? What will these jeans be doing to me? I can't do it. Putting them on, going, is today the day that we can get these on and last the day? Because I feel like guys are like this. Not to generalize, but here we go. It's easy for them to look good all of the time, right? Like my boyfriend wears like jeans, white shirt, like a jacket or like a flannel shirt or something over top. Easy, good to go. And he travels in that, which I think is psychotic. There's nothing grosser than watching him being relaxed on a plane in a jean, or even worse, at home in a jean, watching a movie. Huh? I'm sorry? Do you have a job interview later? What the fuck are you doing in a jean on the couch. That almost feels, it feels pointed. It's like, what does he want from me? What is he saying? I couldn't imagine getting comfortable in a pair of jeans. And I don't know why that has been given to us women, where we are not to be comfortable in our jeans. It seems unfair, and I'm over it. And I am on the hunt now for a good looking oversized jean, because I'm sick of these, very like skinty little influencers putting on baggy jeans going like, oh, look at me, like I'm fashionable. It's like, it doesn't always look the same. But I think it's time for me to invest in some good jeans. And force myself to get some new all-time reliables that are fashionable, because I look like a pile of shit sometimes. Pile of shit. I haven't mastered my classic sort of casual look. I once had a friend, I think I've said this on the pod before, and it was right. She wasn't even being rude. She's like, you either look great or you look insane. Like, there's no middle ground. Like, you either look nuts or so put together. And I need to find my middle ground, because the way I traveled home from Victoria was, no wonder that woman was praying for me. Maybe it wasn't the Love Island. Maybe it was just the outfit I decided to wear that really, dog hair, wasn't even around dogs. What's going on there? It's time to change. Speaking of change, let's switch subjects into what I'm watching currently. And I was talking to some people this week about reality TV, as we always discuss on the program. And things are kind of like drying up. Love Island is here, and this is my first season, like truly and simply watching it. And I have to tell you, it's good. I don't know why I'm rebelling against Love Island USA. I haven't gotten into that, which I know is super popular, but right now I'm really invested in Love Island UK. There's just something about these plumped up ladies that I love. I love every inch of their plumped lips and their fillers and their outfits and their bodies and their accents. I don't understand sometimes what they're saying. It doesn't frustrate me. It makes me want to work harder to get in. I love these women. I want them to take me under their wing. I feel like they would fight for me. They would rally for me. And if I were to choose the women I'd love to drunkenly meet in a bar bathroom, it would be every single one of those women, because I would leave feeling better about myself. I really and simply truly would, because there's something about British women, English women. Oh, they're perfect to me. I wish I was British. I wish I had sort of an accent. It might have been easier for me. Maybe my personality would be a bit more palatable. You all right, babes? Hi, something like that. Hiya, you okay? Perfection. I can't. I will tell you, my review of Love Island is it is slow. It is very slow, because from my understanding, Love Island USA only shoots for a month, where Love Island UK shoots for 2. So there's just like more time. And the first, I would say, 5 episodes are kind of like this odd ASMR. Like, there's no music, they're just kind of walking around, picking fights, falling in love. And it's very quiet, and it's like shot pretty slow, which I don't mind. I mean, again, I watched the first 3 to 5 episodes on a plane. So again, I have like plane POV, where like the wildest TVs and movies feel better because you're in the skies. But I'm still watching, and I'm like episode 22 in, and I'm invested. There's one guy named Ronnie that everyone's going full nutso futso over, and I don't get it. He is balding in the middle of his head, but he is using like hair fibers to cover it up. And the reason I bring this up is because he's tool, and he is so rude and dismissive and disrespectful to these women. Like, he just like goes through women like nothing, and he makes them feel terrible about themselves. And so I get to bring up that thing about his hair because the simple and true audacity of that man with those fibers to even have that attitude is shocking to me. Like, I'm shocked. I'm gasped. Uh, how? I just don't get these men, you know? Obviously, a huge shout out to Harriet, who's on the show, who is just a caricature of herself. I saw videos of her before the plumping, before the fillering and the Botoxing. Unrecognizable. Sweet, sweet woman. She's got massive eyelash extensions. I love her. You can see her tape and extensions, but I love the honesty. I love the truth, and she just wants to find love. But yeah, it's good. I'm invested. If you're looking for something a little slow that you can slowly kind of have on in the background, the next episodes always do amazing catch-ups. I like UK. It's soft. I'm wondering what the US version will feel like, because I know it'll probably be faster and glitzier and glammier. I know Ariana's hosting it. So I'll definitely get into that, but it does feel overwhelming how many episodes, because it's every day. It's like Monday through Friday. But yeah, I feel like, and again, I've been called a reality TV sommelier, and I would probably recommend, this would be a perfect show if you're like, I know I was talking about breastfeeding earlier, but like, those shows you watch, like I don't have kids, but like my girlfriends who are like watching reality TV or like watching something while feeding or just with the baby, this would be perfect because it's not too crazy. It's slutty enough, like it builds up and it gets there. But these British women will give you life. Like, it will give you something. So give it a watch. I think it's what you need. And the thing that concerns me is that they are Brits, right? And I'm Scottish and I'm scared of the sun. Like, I'm finding shade in every way that I can. If I'm outside, like, and the sun is beaming, I'm freaking out. I need a hat. I need sunscreen. And these gals are just laying out. And I see them putting on sunscreen, but it's the lotion kind. I'm not seeing the spray. So I'm like, there's no way they're getting their back, and then they're getting in the pool. And it's like, with a cream, you're getting into the pool too fast. You need a spray, that can dry and can sort of, I don't know. It concerns me, but that's the only thing that gives me real concern with this show. But please enjoy. I'm also watching New Jersey, which hasn't been the best season. They're kind of in a landlock where, like, I don't even think that's the right term, but a lot of them won't film with each other. And so the show's at a standstill, but Jennifer pushed Danielle at that party. Wild stuff. Like, big physical altercation. They both got suspended, had the investigation. Obviously, it was Jen. Jen's lying, saying that Danielle stepped into her face. And lies. It's all on camera. So it's only getting messier. And obviously, we don't want everyone fighting, physically fighting. But it is a thrill to watch. Sorry to admit it. Sorry, everyone's safe, and that's great, but sorry to admit it. And I just saw the trailer for Real Housewives of Orange County. Excuse me. I can't get into that franchise. That's like if I'm on a plane or something where I need to kill a couple of hours and I've run out of my shows. I'll download some OC, but I cannot stand Shannon Beador. And I saw a scene where, if you don't know, Shannon Beador is from the Real Housewives of Orange County, and she drove drunk to her ex-boyfriend John Jansen's house. He called her a drunken mess. She said, "I'll show you." And she got in her car and had a massive accident within seconds with her gorgeous golden retriever in the car. And she left the car in the side of the house she had run into and escaped the scene. And cops found her, and she was just pretending that she was walking her dog. Always did. So she slammed into the car. She's not really taking, allegedly, she's not taking full accountability. And so there was this weird scene with her, like, 3 daughters, like late teen daughters. 18 plus. And I was like, I don't need this. This is too dark. Like, I don't need to see this conversation. Like, I just don't think I'm going to be investing in Orange County. Although people are saying it's going to be good this season, but I just don't know. I'm just not buying any of them as friends. It's reeking of bad. So that's what I'm bummed about with New Jersey, because it had that sort of like believability that they were friends. And now I'm like bummed to the max that show's probably going to be done. They're not getting a reunion. So they're probably done. And it's like, ugh, what are we going to get? New York. I'm like concerned about New York in a deep, dark way, because I like Jenna Lyons, but she's not going to show her girlfriend. There's so many rules, and so I don't know about that cast. Luckily, Summer House is coming back. They're shooting right now this summer. Danielle's not coming back. Thank God. What was Danielle doing? We don't know. There's talk that Lindsay might be pregnant. I was like sussing it out. It seemed to be. So I wonder how they'll handle that. But so Love Island right now is soothing me and giving me what I need. So I'll keep you abreast. I'll keep you double D's abreast of my thoughts and feelings on Love Island UK. And if you're watching Love Island USA, like, give me the juice, give me the goss. Like, do I need to get in? Who do we love? Who do we hate? What's going on? I even thought, this is how desperate I was getting for my shows, for my programs. What am I going to watch on my iPad? My iPad shows when I'm in bed, when I'm lotioned. And I saw a clip for The Bachelorette. I miss The Bachelor. Like, I miss what The Bachelor was, because I don't believe the franchise to be a top of mind anymore. I truly don't believe that it is top of mind, because I don't hear anyone talking about it. I barely see any after shows about it. I don't really see it online. I feel like it's a dusty, crusty franchise now. And listen, my issue with The Bachelorette is not The Bachelorette. My issue is the men on that show, because they don't really care about the woman. They just want to win. And they're all like friends with each other. And so they're all like, yeah, bro, get it, bro. And there's like barely any drama. And the drama that there is like gross. And then you feel bad for The Bachelorette. So that's why I can't really get behind The Bachelorette, in my opinion, my Old Navy opinion, Old Navy pajama opinion. Regardless, I went for a joke. Let's all move on. But I just can't get behind it. And then the Golden Bachelor, I know people got into, but then that ended kind of messy. I yearn for the days of like what The Bachelor was, because it was so crazy. Like, we were having bachelor parties, there were emotional stakes. It was awesome. And now, what is it? Like, I couldn't even name you the last many, frankly, Bachelor and Bachelorette contestants. Couldn't do it, even if I wanted to. Am I the only one? Let me know, because I'm just like, what's going on with that? And it's sad. We had it so good then. We didn't even know. Although I heard about Rachel's messy divorce with her husband, who was always a skis. Like, no one thought that guy was a good guy. I was like shocked at her choice, because I can't remember what the other guy's name was, but I remember they had great chemistry, but his whole thing was like, I'm not ready to marry you. I'd like to just date you. Which, watching it, I was like, what a great circumstance. Like, you like this guy, you have the better chemistry with him. So why wouldn't you just go with that guy? Because he's kind of asking for a normal request. Like, hey, we haven't really spent that much time together. Let's just like date. I wonder what's going on with that guy. I'll look it up, and I'll provide an update that no one has asked for next episode. But I want to know what's up with that guy. I was gonna look it up, but I don't want to waste anyone else's time, Do I look it up? No, I won't. No, I simply and utterly will not. But yeah, now he's trying to take her for everything she's worth. And apparently she makes like 6 figures a month. And he like says he makes $16,000 a year as a chiropractor on the internet. Oh, yipes. Brian. Her husband's name was Brian. I can't remember the other guy. Luke. They're always named Luke, aren't they? Um, but yeah, Brian was always kind of like whatever. I hope Rachel gets through that smoothly and she doesn't have to pay that guy. It's so gross. It's like Kaylee. It's like Kelly Clarkson who has to pay her ex-husband like so much. Oof, get a life. Isn't his mom like Reba McEntire or something? Ugh. I'm just sad because I'm in that summer rut of shows because everything kind of goes to hiatus. So, maybe my bar is lowered for Love Island, but I don't think it is. I miss my little summer programs, Now I'm just mindlessly on YouTube, just YouTubing it up, getting into odd rabbit holes, which can be fun, but also sort of, all of a sudden now I'm buying, rug tufting materials because I'm going to get into that. And that's going to be the hobby I'm doing. And I can't be trusted with all these hobbies. My collection right now, this is the summer of hobbies. I've got miniatures to make miniatures, like clay miniatures, and also to getting into clay and ceramics. And I also have like the rug hooking or like rug tufting kits where like it's, you're making like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, it's a big old needle and whatever, you can look it up, but let me tell you, it's in the closet and I really want to get into hobbies, but I just never make the time for it. Like it's like reading. Like I'm never like, okay, this is a time I'm reading. I'm going to read now. Like I have a book on my nightstand that I've been loving. I think the book is awesome. It's called The Guest. And I just never give myself time to read it. Like there I am sitting in bed. I look at the book and instead of grabbing the book, I grab my phone and I endlessly scroll on TikTok and find yet another hobby. And it's like, I can't take anything else on. So how do you become the person who's like, this is my hobby time now? I'm making my hobby. I'm doing my hobby. I'm doing my reading. Like I want to be a woman who just grabs the book, gets on the couch, makes the cup of tea and reads. But it's never me. It's like never the thing that I will consider. Although I will sit there and scroll mindlessly for hours. But I will not miniature. I will not ceramic. I will not rug tuft. I will not read. I just don't make time for that. So I'm going to really try to just like make time for it because someone on TikTok just said, make time for things. And I said, thank you, person. I'm not going to look into your background. You've just said something confidently. And I'm going to take that as a thing I have to do now. So hopefully when I escape to my cottage this summer, I can bring, oh gosh, as I'm saying that, imagine, let me paint the scene for you and for us. Wow, that's the universe saying this is a good idea. I don't know if you could hear the calamity outside. Okay, let me paint the scene for us. We get a cottage. You get the cottage you want. Your dream cottage. For me, smaller, hot tub requirement. Walk out to a lake, sauna there by the lake. There's a paddleboard there. I can cycle between hot tub, cold lake, beautiful lake, not a lot of like dirt, grime, sauna, repeat. Okay. We do that all day. As the sun is setting, we feel a chill. Okay. We go into the cottage as the sun sets. We don't pick up our phones. We don't turn on the TV. Or maybe even we put on our iPad with a little soft Love Island ASMR. And we finally pick up the hobby that we bought from Michael's that cost us $250 that's in the closet. We've packed it. We pull it out. We put it onto what I presume to be in this cottage, a farm table. Beautiful farm table. Ice cold glass of white wine. We begin. I mean, is that not heaven? And yet I will not give it to myself. Does that not sound like heaven? As Harriet whines about Ronnie in Spain, in the villa. I make my little clay miniatures. Maybe an egg, maybe a strawberry, maybe a piece of toast in the toaster. Maybe I make little trinket dishes, or maybe I go rogue on one of my rug tufting kits. Right now I bought one of a sailor. Maybe instead of a blue jacket, it's a pink one. You know, my life is in my hands. You know, I can make what I want. What a dream evening in a cottage. It smells like wood and campfire. Nothing better. That's all I want. What a dream. And then after that, after we're done the crafting and everything's air drying, okay, the episode ends. Another little glass. Oh, the hot tub. An evening tub. An evening tub, watching the stars. You get out in robe, shower off, lotion, head to frickin' toe, in robe, in bed, in the woods. Anything better? Doubt it. Simply and truly, I have to give myself the gift of that. And I know I always say this because I love community, but I need to know what your craft is what your hobby is that's, awaiting you in the cupboard, in the closet. Like, what is it? Did the rug tufters get you? The rug hooking with the big needle? Is it the miniatures? Is it the air dry clay? What is it? Don't be scared. I've got a million. So please hit me up. Tell me what it is, because I need to know that I am simply and truly not alone. Honestly. Okay, so I wanted to bring this up, but I was like, maybe this isn't worth the pod, but we're coming to the end, so I thought I would share. I have realized, and this isn't just a new realization, but when I was in Vancouver, I was invited to a kind of like a local wrestling event called Boom Wrestling. And if you've listened to me before, I had a podcast called Regular Girls with Renee Paquette, who works for AEW now. But, I'm no stranger to wrestling. I love a good match. I love the theatricality. It's so fun. And above all else, I love a character. And above all else on the character, I love the character's merch. And it was in that moment that I realized, well, not really in that moment, but I have a sickness for merch. Like there is no greater joy than buying a hobby I will probably never do, and B, buying merch. Like, I was so excited to go to this wrestling event because it just sounded fun, and like, who doesn't want to go support some local wrestlers? And it was so campy and it was so great. And I want to just give a big shout out to Boom Wrestling in Vancouver because I had the best time. Some of your wrestlers did body slam onto the concrete floor and onto the bar. I was worried. I hope they're okay. It seemed safe. They were fine. You're really testing the boundaries, but it was the coolest show. And the wrestlers were all very, very talented. But I was also very excited to buy merch. And not only did I buy one shirt, I bought two. And I was thinking about it the whole event. And I realized not everyone thinks this way. Not everyone is a merch person. Like, I'm a merch person. If I have a good time at your show, I want to get something. For 22 minutes, I got to interview Amanda Marshall, who last season on the pod, yes, we're calling it seasons. I talk about being super hungover from the Amanda Marshall concert, and I go into detail about all the merch I bought. And when I got to interview her for the show, I did show her all of my merch. She did grab the sweater and mention that it felt very worn, which it was. It's a very worn and very loved item. But I love merch. I was going nuts about this merch from Boom Wrestling. And it just is so crazy to me that not everyone likes to buy merch. Like, it's the thing I'm talking about. Like, if I go to a concert and I'm having a blast. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll get the shirt, maybe the hat, like if I'm having a really great time. So I did buy 2 pieces from Boom. I also just got, I love the podcast Evil Men, which is a great recommendation. If you're looking for a podcast, they talk about 3 very funny comedians, Chris Locke, Mike Blasio, and James Hartnett. They do a weekly pod and they talk about evil men of history. And anyways, I got a piece of their merch. Like, I'm out of control. I was just in Edmonton for Propaganza. I got a shirt from them. And from Rapid Fire Theater. I'm going crazy. I'm too filled to the brim with merch. I have a sickness and I need to stop. I don't know if you can hear my dog breathing, but he's over it. And this is the concern here now. I have so much merch and it's like, can I wear it out? You know, like, am I just going to be the merch girl? Maybe that's me. Maybe that's going to be me with my newly fitted jeans that feel good. My looser jeans with my tees. Maybe that'll be me in my new life. I'm a graphic tee girl. But yeah, there's so much merch in my house now. Like, it's a problem. Like, I was unpacking everything and looking at my drawers and I had to say, Stacey, that's enough. That's enough now. That's too much merch. You've got so much. I'm a sick little demon. I have a sickness, you know, I have to say. Just that little tidbit. I'm sure it was not interesting to anybody, but it's good for me to use this platform for realizations. You know, just this is the platform to do it. Before I end, I wanted to confirm a couple of recommendations that I gave the last episode about some products that I'm absolutely freaking loving. And I have to give it up to the Cicaplast B5 gel, which I talked about last episode. I've been using it since I've been traveling a whole bunch and I've been mixing it. I got a little travel container and put the Cicaplast B5 cream as well. Joyous. I'm really finding putting less on my skin is, can you believe, better for it? I've been really loving those 2 products. Like, I cannot get enough. My dog is up now. My old man Burger, he likes to do this thing where he sleeps and then forgets where he is. And he pops up and then he tries to act normal and then he goes back down to sleep. So he's just in one of those little things. He's just trying to play cool. And we're going to have to let him. But I'm loving those 2 products. They are so good. I will say my skin, for those like me, I did have a look at my skin before shooting today and looked and was like, oh, it is time to shave my face. So it is feeling a little musty, crusty. So I'm going to have to do a little shave, which I was using those eyebrow shavers, but a lot of people on TikTok are saying those can cause some microcuts to your skin. And I have rosacea, and I've noticed that obviously if you're shaving your face, you're going to be a bit red. So I have now transitioned back to men's disposable razors, like the ones you can get in the pack. And I will shave my face with apricot oil. And down it goes, and then I would double cleanse, and we're off to the races. I cannot recommend shaving your face enough. I've talked about it on the pod before. I will talk about it again. I love the feeling and I love the results that come from shaving my face. So I have friends who have stray hairs, like thicker sort of chin or like neck. And I don't have that. I have like peach fuzz kind of hair. So I'm talking about peach fuzz specifically, but I will probably shave my face every week. You've got to. If you're on the fence about it, it does not grow back thicker. Okay. And again, I'm not talking about the stray hairs that you have to like tweeze out. Although a friend of mine is using a laser and really finding some great at-home results with it. So I'm going to have to get the name from her and share that with you all. But yeah, so for peach fuzz shaving, and here's my other freaking travel hack tip that I was supposed to mention last week and I forgot. The glycolic acid from The Ordinary, if you go on TikTok, you can find a million uses for it. The reason I purchased it was because people claimed if you put it on your armpits like once a week or every 2 weeks, It'll like remove the bacteria and you won't smell as much. Because the thing I'm going to do this summer is I'm always going to reek. I'll tell you that. And natural deodorant, as we all know, isn't here to keep us fresh. Okay. It's a ticking time bomb. But this glycolic acid, I am telling you, I put it on my armpits and my whole time on my trip, I had no smell. Like I would put deodorant on and I would sweat, like I'm sweating right now, but there's no smell to it. And it does say to like test it out for sensitive skin. I have very sensitive skin. I was okay, but of course you have to test it for you. But I am telling you, this glycolic acid, oh my God, I'm begging my boyfriend to try and use it. It just removes the smell. And now I'm looking up other ways to use it because the bottle was really cheap. You get so much of it. I'm just putting a little bit on a cotton pad under the pits it goes. I can't recommend it enough. I've had such good results with it. I'm telling you. Glycolic acid. Must. I can't scream it enough from the rooftops. Like it is such a game changer. It is a game changer. Burger, do you have something to say? So those are my tips. I will go into what I'd like to do next week is go into like my current favorites of products, which is such an old YouTuber thing to do. But I see these on TikTok and I'm like, okay, I can't hear from another 23-year-old telling me what products are like mainstays in their kit. But these will be like you must have, like if I saw you at a party and I cornered you, these would be the things I would demand. Glycolic acid will be coming up again. I hate to break, but I have some new little things that I can't wait to unpack with you. So next week, let's gather around all of our products and let's get fucking serious about it because we need to unpack, especially for the summer. We need to get real and true about our summer products. But I'm back. I'm excited to be back. Thank you for listening. Thank you for everyone who continues to listen and share and like and all of those things. Without you, I am but nothing. I adore you. And I'm sorry if you can hear my dog, but old men will be old men, won't they always? It's always about them. But love you all. See you next week. Bye.